Just line the PEDs up and Canelo is gonna knock him down like bowling pin. Breaking news of 2 fighters today that tested positive for PEDs. And one of them happened to be another Canelo Alvarez team member. As you can see, Canelo Alvarez stamped his logo on Francisco Rodriguez's trunks. Last month, he defeated Akhi. Well, it turned out just like the Devin Haney fight versus Ryan Garcia, 2 of Canelo Alvarez's team members tested positive for PEDs after their biggest win. We have a total of 7 fighters that tested positive from Canelo Alvarez camp. I mean, damn, that's a pound-for-pound juice crew right there. And the list goes to Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, Oscar Valdez, Martinez, Luis, Munguia, and now Francisco Rodriguez. If there's smoke, there is fire. And there is PED smoke coming out of Canelo Alvarez camp. Surely this warrants an investigation to Eddie Reynoso training camp. Like, what is really going on over here? And why is these fighters keep getting away with being on PEDs and fighting on fight night? VADA need to up their game and get the result before the fight, because if you test positive before the fight needs to be canceled. Not like the WBC approved of Oscar Valdez to fight his opponent on PEDs. If that wasn't enough, they robbed his opponent after that. Therefore, the PED results needs to be the same day in order to be effective to stop these criminals from committing the crimes and getting away with it crime-free. But let me correct myself. News randomly came out today that David Morrell's opponent had failed for PEDs in the past. So it wasn't today. However, Canelo Alvarez team member, that was today. On the other hand, Akhi, who's supposed to be fighting Morrell, was given a 2-year suspension since he tested positive for PEDs in 2024. But if I'm doing the math right, it's only been a year. So how is he able to fight David Morrell? That's the $1 million question. And that's why boxing, ladies and gentlemen, is the wild, wild west. Fighters get suspended for PEDs and they can still fight after they got suspended. Man, there's nothing like it. Matter of fact, there's worse like it. Other sports like the UFC, they don't even have strict VADA testing. They even let USADA go. At least in boxing, we have VADA that tests for everything. However, the problem is the results come out too late and fighters could cycle off before the fight. If you only could catch the criminal after he commits the crime, it's not just too late, but the worst part about it is the criminal escapes free. Even better than before, like Ryan Garcia getting blessed with bigger paydays, fighting easier opposition. Ryan was given the main event as a reward for cheating Devin Haney. He was the main event over Devin Haney. But when he was off PEDs, he ended up losing to Rolly, who got smoked by Pitbull at 140 pounds. So, obviously, the secret is the juice. And the connection is the juice crew. The only way to catch the juice crew is to have year-round VADA testing mandatory for all of the contenders and champions. At least the top 5 contenders. At the very least, it should be top 10. They could do it with the sectioning fees in order to provide even playing field. That's how you solve the problem. I mean, like Jamal Charlo said, or Jamal Charlo, I should say, excuse me. He said, we don't know how many times Canelo Alvarez have fought while being on PEDs. We don't know. How we know he's off PEDs? And that's what Crawford should be on top of. All of these Canelo Alvarez team members keep testing positive for PEDs. What the hell you think Canelo Alvarez is doing? You are who you hang with. If your whole crew tested positive for PEDs, including you, I know Canelo Alvarez is shocked right now. He tried to play it cool. However, everything keeps backfiring. He should have just kept the connection for himself for real, allegedly. However, when Canelo himself tested positive for PEDs first, he introduced everyone to the game. Then what can you really say? Especially when it's 2-time coincidence, 3-time coincidence, 4-time coincidence, 5, 6, 7. Damn! Slow down. You can play any game, but you can't play boxing. If I take PEDs in order to beat you in a race, that's different. But when I take PEDs to beat your behind, no diddy, that's a big difference because I'm damaging your health. I'm not just taking your place as if it's a race. I'm also damaging your health, something you could never get back. So that's why you don't play boxing. You need 1 cojones to play any sport, but when it comes to boxing, you need 2 cojones just to get in the ring alone. It's no freaking game. You can't bring a knife to a fist fight. That's not fair. The fight has to be taking place on an even playing field. Let's see how Turkey maneuvers around that in the sport of boxing. Is he going to clean the game up when it comes to the cheating? Turkey did make it clear he's against cheating, and he was the ambassador of clean testing back in his country. Well, let's see if Turkey provides year-round VADA testing as a mandatory to fight in TKO. That being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.